What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning back into another episode of Freedom Talks on Friday. My name is Sam. Today, I'm going to be talking about this article that I came across, and it is about the food prices that are going up. I've noticed that my grocery bill has been higher than normal, and I'm sure you guys have been noticing too. So I came across this article on Yahoo, and I will link it down in the description below. And I just want to kind of skim over it and let you guys know what I'm finding, and you guys can read it more in depth. The title of it is Grocery Prices Are Going Up. Here's what to expect at the store. And it was written April 13th, 2021, so just a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so it starts off saying, shoppers had better start budgeting more for their grocery bills according to the latest Consumer Price Index, which shows prices are increasing and they are likely to keep going up. The monthly Consumer Price Index, released Tuesday morning by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, showed a 0.6% increase in March, the largest one-month increase in nearly a decade. Over the past year, prices have increased 2.6% overall. It also says gas skyrocketed up to 9.1% last month. Since February, fruits and vegetables have risen nearly 2%, and the index for meat, poultry, fish, eggs have risen 0.4% according to the government figures. Yes, I have noticed gas pricing go up. I haven't really been driving much lately because I've been working from home. However, when I fill up my little car, I notice, I'm like, wow, this is expensive. And I'm sure you guys notice it too. The latest spike in grocery bills came on the back of prices that had already risen during last year's pandemic, stockpiling, and supply chain disruptions, and never went down. Consumers are noticing their inflating receipts. Now, yeah, when the pandemic broke out and everybody was just trying to stockpile, of course, the supply and demand, they're going to raise the prices. But this is saying this has just gone up even more. There's somebody in here saying that they used to buy stuff for $30 and now it's $60. That's double. That's insane. People are only buying essential items and avoiding name brands. This is probably going to be hurting a lot of companies as well, because people aren't going to be buying the more expensive things. Okay. It also says here, changes at the checkout are also pressuring grocery profit margins. Manufacturers have cut back on promotions and coupons to moderate demand ever since the stock-up period in March last year. Now, there's some people who love coupons, love to coupon, and couponing for them is a way of life. And if they're starting to take away coupons and deals, I can't imagine that those couponers, how they're feeling right now. Another part, economists say costs from rising gas prices, a spike in commodity prices, increased imports by China, heavy Midwest crop damage, and other factors are all getting passed on to retail consumers. So it's like a chain of events, it trickles down like a waterfall. Things get affected up here, and it just hurts every layer all the way down going to the bottom. Issues like higher gas prices, increasing transport costs that get passed on to the consumers, especially for items like bread, are only going up as driving increases faster than oil production. So grocery prices are likely to remain on the higher end of estimate for at least the rest of the year. Producers may eventually increase their output in order to capture the heightened demand, but that won't happen until towards the end of this year. Okay, that was something said in this article. The White House said Monday that it expects inflation to go up and not go back down. This is in here, guys. I mean, this is the internet. This is Yahoo. Take it how you will. I'm just reading from this article. There are 3 temporary factors are driving the increase. Somebody says the rate of increase looks faster when it rises from lower level, supply chain disruptions, and pent-up demand for services. Okay. There's a quote in here. We think the likeliest outlook over the next several months is for inflation to rise modestly and to fade back to lower pace thereafter as actual inflation begins to run more in line with longer run expectations. So these are some people's opinions on what they think is going to happen in the future. The price increases have the potential to stoke food insecurity at a time when more than 9 million people are still out of work. The pennies can add up week by week, family by family, and that is true. There are still a lot of people out of work, and they're living like, off of their government funds probably, but that's all they have. And it's difficult to budget. I remember when I was so deep in debt and I was living paycheck to paycheck and having to compromise on groceries. It's so difficult. It's hard. It's heartbreaking. Okay, here someone is saying food is a necessity. Lower income households spends a larger share of their income on food. When we see food prices increase, it affects lower income households more. And that is true. When you don't have more extra money to buy things at the grocery store, it really does hurt lower income. Okay, it goes on to give some advice about shopping only based on a list to avoid impulse buying, going to stores for generic brand if they're less expensive, and swapping pricier meats for cheaper cuts, or downsizing to chickens or beans. So there's a few tips in here at the end of the article, but I just wanted to share this with you guys. If you also notice that your grocery bill has gone up significantly or just a little bit and you wonder what's going on, well, this article may be able to clear it up for you. I am going to link it below in the description, but I do just want to add my 2 pennies. I started a garden last year to start growing my own food during the whole shutdown and quarantine. It was a fun hobby to take up. I didn't realize I was going to enjoy it so much. However, now I'm starting to see it as a way to produce my own food, my own produce, vegetables especially. It feels really good. Like last year I got a whole bunch of sweet potatoes. I just looked at my sweet potato pile and I realized, wow, I grew these for next to nothing, for pennies. And I don't have to go to the grocery store and pay, $5 a pound or whatever it is they're charging, when I can just grow it right outside in the yard. So I do want to encourage anybody to maybe start a garden, get some food growing. That way you don't have to depend on a grocery store for, your potato needs or your tomatoes or whatever you decide to grow. It's a good feeling doing it yourself and also saving that money and using it for something else other than higher grocery prices. I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. I hope you're having a great week and you have a great weekend. And I will see you next Friday, guys. Take care.